Hi kids! Today I'm showing SeedVR2. It's an upscaling model that generates in one step. Download it inside drawthings as a regular render model. It affects the image on the canvas, essentially re-rendering at whatever the canvas size is, presumably something higher res than the original image. I'll show the workflow and share my settings. There's nothing difficult, it's just not obvious how to set it up as a render model, and at the end, I'll show a way to edit the saved preset so it can be reloaded without crosstalk from your existing canvas size. This is a tutorial for drawthings. It's the image and video generator for Mac, iPad, and iOS. Drawthings is free on the app stores. It runs AI generative models locally on device without a subscription. And today's model is SeedVR2. VR stands for video restoration, but we're using it on single images as a creative upscaler. The quality is very good, very clean when set up correctly. It works on photography and illustration styles. It's actually making me rethink my render workflow, like maybe I should stop using high-res fix altogether. This will make more sense once you understand the workflow. So first, the model loads in the basic menu in the model drop-down. Then set the render size to something large and load an image to the canvas. Yeah, and notice I'm not using image to image, leave the strength at 100%. Otherwise, the original image will bleed through. There's no prompt, so we just generate. And now, very quickly, what this is not. Drawthings has an upscaler drop-down under the advanced settings for ESRGAN plus models. SeedVR2 is not this type of upscaler, so set this drop-down to disabled. The model comes in two versions, 7B and 3B, plus the usual Drawthings quantized options. In the model drop-down, type SeedVR in the search. 7B is around 8.5 GB. 3B is obviously smaller. I didn't actually download it to see. I'm guessing it's probably for iPhones and maybe any device with less than 8 GB of RAM. And the quantized options are 8-bit S, optimized for Apple Neural Engine on M5 and now M4. 8-bit S is new, so see my M5 video from April for details on this new format. 6-bit is for M3 devices and earlier. These quantized versions are for efficiency on lower RAM devices, but the unlabeled model is also mildly quantized to preserve quality. If you have 16 GB or more, you should be fine with 7B. Now let's set the parameters. Under the Advanced menu, scroll down near the bottom. Enable the tiled decoding. Set the height and width to 1024 by 1024 and the overlap to 128. Do the same with tiled diffusion. Set the height and width to 1024 by 1024 and the overlap to 128. And back in the basic menu, we'll set steps to 1. Set the guidance to 1.0, shift is 5.0, and set the sampler to DPM++ to M trailing. Before we render, I'll save this config in the settings. At the top of the settings menu, open the 3 dots button. It's the context menu. Choose Save Config and save as SeedVR2. Now, once we've switched on tiled diffusion, the interface allows the render size to go much higher. Assuming I already have an image on the canvas, I can adjust the height and width parameters to twice the current size. And just above the prompt box at the far right, open the Canvas Scale tool and rescale the canvas to 200%. The image should fit neatly over the visible canvas. Another method is to copy the image and paste it into the resized canvas and hit Generate to render. Now, an inconvenience of using the saved config, as you probably know, is that it will overwrite our canvas size. And that creates an unnecessary order of operations where I can end up fighting with the size settings. and I have to move the image to fit the visible render area. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying. So for this last section, I'll show how I fixed this problem by editing the custom config document. I've already saved the active parameters as SeedVR2 in the settings context menu, so now quit out of Draw Things. Find the custom config JSON in the Draw Things models folder on Mac. It's at Users, Your Username, Libraries, Containers, Draw Things, Data, Documents, and Models. Sort the files by date, and I'll open the custom config JSON in TextEdit. Before you edit, duplicate the JSON file. The fix itself is easy. So I'll edit my original. Scroll down to the bottom of the JSON and find the just created config. One of the last lines will be the name. Then scroll up inside the alphabetical parameter list, find width, and delete the entire line, including the comma and the line break. Next, scroll up, find height, and again, delete the entire line, including the comma and the line break. Save the document, and relaunch Draw Things. And now, applying the preset from the saved menu will load all the parameters except the width and height. On iPad, the custom config JSON is in the Files app at On My iPad Draw Things Models. But iPadOS blocks me from editing JSON files, so you'll need a workaround or download a third-party JSON app. I will leave you to figure that out. Okay, that's all we have time for. As always, I hope you had a learn. Please give this video a like if you think others will find it useful, and subscribe to get the next one in your feed. I will see you next time. Bye!